Hi, y'all, and welcome to Mennonite's All Meta Mode podcast with Gypsy, myself, Amanda Digger, and special guest Flint from Adirondack Mountains Metal Detecting. I don't have any advertisements tonight, so right off the bat, I'm going to welcome Gypsy back from her travels. Welcome, Gypsy. Glad to have
Hey,
you back.
thanks, thanks. Yeah, I got in yesterday, back from Michigan, my trip from Michigan looking for float copper. And it was really great experience. I had a blast. I even got to do a little sightseeing, went and saw some waterfalls and hiking and, oh, you name it. It was really wonderful. Um, But most of the detecting I did was there was some field hunting and some hunting out in the woods as well along creek beds. Even got into a river there, which I wasn't prepared to do. Um, I was not prepared for that, but one of the property owners, they had some hip waders, and the geologist that was there that they had hired to come work with me. We hit it off. A really great guy that he's retired professor, uh, geologist from the university there in Houghton. I think that's how you pronounce it. Um, Michigan in the UP. And I got to tour a copper mine while I was there.
Yeah.
One morning it was raining, so we couldn't get out to the field. So I got to go tour that. I got to go to the museum there that the geologist actually, a lot of the stuff in there he found, and he's helped make some of the displays. So we got a special tour while we were there from the geologist. Excuse me. And all the weird weather that I'm not used to, I think I got a cold while I was there. So I came back with sinus congestion, and some of that was draining down to the back of my throat. So excuse me, I probably don't sound like my normal self tonight. But I've been coughing, and so I spent the rest of the day in bed yesterday when I got home, and today too. But I'm feeling better. So all I know is I got to get better for when I go up north to see Amanda for our adventures that we've got planned. So, but it really was successful. I actually did a lot of videoing while I was there, but I'm not going to be able to post that right now. So maybe I'll have a surprise for everyone in the future, but it's just all right now, just rumors and speculation. So we'll keep that on the back burner for now. um, but anyway, it's good to be back home. And how about you, Amanda? So you haven't been able to get out, I guess, to go metal detecting or mud larking?
No, after last week's show, I started not feeling so hot, and same thing. It tends to be every year at this time of the year. I end up with sinus infection, bronchitis, and started feeling that way on Tuesday, and I'm like, yeah, not doing good. Wednesday got worse, so basically this weekend was I did not leave the bed or the recliner. Just lots of vitamins and meds and sleep. So I did not get out this last week at all. I dreamt of it. I watched lots of YouTube videos. So, a lot of our followers, I caught up on some videos I've missed. Gypsy, I got to see some of your latest videos that I haven't caught up on. And, um, yes, I lived vicariously through everybody else this last week. So, more or less did that and just planning for you flying in what is it, 11 days? So,
Oh,
pretty excited by that.
that's what I think about too. I was planning on when I got home to start packing already, but I haven't even washed my clothes from my trip yet.
Jeez.
Or unpacked, for that matter. So, anyway.
Yeah, I'd say we're a sight for sore eyes, but I think it's more so we're what is it, listening for a hurt voice? I don't know. So
Oh,
apologize to all
well,
of you for, I know we're sounding off tonight, but we did not want to cancel the show. And yeah, we want to welcome Flint from Adirondack Mountains Metal Detecting. So welcome to the show, Flint.
Thank you. Good evening.
welcome. Glad to have you on. Sorry it's under the circumstances. We're all a little under the weather.
It's funny because I've called into the show before, All Metal Mold. I don't know who was talking. I don't know if it was your show or another podcast, but it was a long time ago. I still had it in my phone, so it was kind of different.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Cool. Maybe it was with Mike. Was it with Mike here?
It might have been. It's probably been a couple of years anyway. So
Cool.
I'm not positive, to be honest with you.
Well, Mike, excuse me. I don't know if he wants me sharing this, but he just had surgery on his foot, his leg. But all went well, and he's healing and doing better. So I'll just put that out there. I know some of you have been asking about him lately, so just wanted to let you know about him. And so tell us a little bit more about yourself, Flint, where you live. We'll start with there.
Okay, well, I live in the Lake George, New York area, in the heart of Revolutionary War country. And I've been metal detecting since I was 13 years old. I'm 50 now. I'm a little old. But I've been hunting. There was a little time I didn't hunt right about when I turned 21 till I was about 26 because there was other interests involved. But besides that, I mean, I've been detecting every year ever since then.
Wow. So you were 15. Tell us about that. Was it a family member or a friend, or you just, what happened?
It was just, I mean, obviously, I had no hobby, you know what I'm saying? And I just said one time I went, I saw somebody in the park metal detecting, and I said, well, I'm going to try that. And then I went down to the local metal detecting shop, and I bought a White's 3500. And that was back in, I think, 1986. And I swung that, and I paid for it from going to, schoolyards and stuff like that. And I paid for every detector since then except for my V3i. So I'm pretty good on that that way.
So with your wife's machine, what was your first find that? Sorry, your first find that really?
Well, I mean, silver. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've always found silver quarters. When I was 17, I got invited to the local news because there's a old canal that runs through the town, and it was always overgrown. Well, they decided to make a alliance and clean it up. Well, they contacted me, and I was the only one around, and they put me on 6, 10, and 13, and I found tons and tons of stuff that's still in the museum today, but it's not really expensive, but coins, diamond drills, stuff of axe heads and stuff like that they used to use along the canal. So they took them all and put it in the museum.
Very cool. That's awesome.
No, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Back then it was different because, it was all, one beep. It wasn't like, multiple beeps like we have frequencies today and stuff like that. So I'd probably go back, but now there's some, there was the section went between two dumps, and it was very, very hard to metal detect because everything and anything was thrown there.
Right. Makes a difference now with the different technology, for sure.
Yes.
So, so
That's
did
for
you
Well,
sure.
did you
go
say
ahead.
what machine you're using now? Are you still using the
Well,
V3i
right now,
or?
no, I still have my V3i, but because of White's going out of business on my birthday, which I'm not very happy about.
Mm,
But you got to take the good with the bad, and I still use my Whites and like that, but I'm going to trade it in because obviously I know Garrett is taking care of them and stuff like that, but the processors and stuff like that are just not available no more. So I'd rather give the machine to someone that can utilize it while it's still under warranty, and then let somebody else take the reins on the V3i. And I'm running a Equinox 800 now.
Cool. How are you liking that machine?
Well, I like the lightweight. I like the multi-frequency. I consider reverse technology V3i myself, but it's almost the same. You're just lighter and more. And I find stuff. With every metal detector, and I never downed any other metal detector because it's like anything. It's just like cars. They get you from A to B. If you use it right, they'll all find you something.
That is so true. Love it.
yeah, I've heard a lot of
Um,
good stuff about the Equinox 800.
It's light. It's light, and it's balanced right and stuff like that, and they can do nothing but go up, and you can update it from the computer, which is good. And I wish they would have did that with a V3i, and and like I said, that new machine that White's were going to come out with, Amanda, you've seen it, and I'm like, I was like digging at it, because I'm like, I want to see that machine because I was so excited for it,
Yeah. I'm still, I love my Sport and MX7, and I've added the Apex to my inventory. But yeah, I just got a brand new coil for the MX7. I'm actually pretty excited about. Well, it's for the Sport or the 7. Um,
Is it a 13-inch?
yeah, 13 by 15, the butterfly.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
pretty excited for that.
yeah. It's
cool.
heavy.
Yeah, it's a
It's,
pound, but it's nowhere
yeah,
near. I swung the MXT before that, so
yeah, it is
the
true. And so it evens out.
yeah, I don't mind the weight.
Yeah,
And then the Apex is even lighter, so yeah, it's
oh
great.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
So you guys all ready for dig stock?
we are.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
ready.
no, I need like another week to make sure I'm 100%, and then yes, yes.
I'll have a booth there. So I'll have a booth there, and then I'm doing some token prizes and stuff like that. So
Very
Very-
cool. Tell me about more about your booth.
well, I'm just gonna have like a background for and then I'm gonna do some token prizes out in the field for different things that metal detectors use, and from backpacks to coin sets to just random different things and stuff like that. And then just throw a bunch of tokens out there, and people find them, they come in and redeem their prize, and hopefully they have more time, because a lot of people last time didn't find stuff. So I figured, well, if I could help in any way, it's worth it for someone to go out and find a token and at least go home with something.
That's great. Awesome.
It is.
And I did that at a few other events also.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to bring. Some t-shirts. What? I don't know what to bring.
We'll figure it out we'll figure it out. And then,
Yeah, because you guys were there the last time they had it up there. Remember how windy it was?
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
do.
That one tent they found 3 miles away. That's how windy it was.
Wow. Yeah, it was blowing people's tents away. It was rough. It was about to blow me down.
hmm It was. So what's your I think you might have already nope, actually it was prior to the show. So what's your favorite type of hunting? Like field hunting, parks, water?
Um, I do 90% field hunting, and then I do some water hunting because I found there's a little bit of water on this property. So, and I come across a bunch of buttons on it. So I kind of like, I don't know if it was an all mill site or whatever, but I just kind of back and forth on the same property for years, and it never hasn't given up on me, and I haven't given up on it. So I just do my best to do the most of the field hunting. And I don't know if you guys ever do this, but like, when it gets winter up here, the days are shorter. Well, when I'm out field hunting, I'll use them landscaping flags for a signal, and I'll put a landscape flag because I'll have more time to metal detect, and then I'll come back and dig them all. And I always bring 25 flags with me, and I'll mark all my spots, and then I'll go back and dig them all. And and for YouTubers and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to do that than you can come back and video tape your find instead of dropping everything and doing that way.
That's a smart idea, definitely.
Just so more time, that's all. It's all about time.
Oh,
You're getting dark at 4 o'clock.
yep, I know that when I get a signal and I'm digging, and then I'm trying to, oh, it looks like something cool. I don't know what that is. I'll whip out my camera, and then I'm videoing, and I'm like, and then it might turn out to be something great. So I've wasted a lot of time there. So it's a good
Well,
idea.
it takes I don't YouTube stuff. I mean, I got a few videos, but I've never put them on YouTube or not, stuff like that. But it takes a long time to, set up the camera. You got to drop your metal detector, your shovel, everything, and then set up the camera, and then it's all, just time wise. So if it takes you 20 minutes per hole, you could take as much as you want after you're done digging, 25, 30 flags, then you can do whatever you want then.
So true. So true. So tell us, tell us about one of your favorite finds you've ever found.
Well, I found 3 Morgans to date. I mean, that's like I said, $3 Morgan. My first one was in a local park, which they just tore. This was back when I was like 18 years old. They just tore the topsoil off it, and I found a nice Morgan. And I still have everything in my collection. But like I said, I moved from my mother's to now I'm building everything's in storage, and hopefully I can get it out and put it all in one spot. And so I got 3 Morgans. There's a number of different things. I mean, tons of silver. Matchbox cars. All my buckles. I found hundreds of buckles from the Revolution, knee plates and stuff like that. But my favorite find, which I didn't find, which was my girlfriend Teresa's. Her first find with a MX Sport was a 1666 trade axe from the British.
Whoa.
And I thought it was just an axe head because I never seen one before. And I was like, it's no big deal, it's just an axe head. Well, I didn't know. And she was on that property. We were had the permission. And ever since then, she was hooked. And now, it's worth like $400, but I was just amazed that was her first big find. You know what I'm saying? I said, I never found that, so, and then, right. With a musket ball, that was the first 2 finds. And she's been hooked ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. A trade axe. Yeah, and it's not a monetary value. It's about the history behind it. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody held that. That's why I liked about the Revolutionary War part or the field hunting or buttons. Somebody wore them, and stuff like that. It's actually you're holding on to history.
Definitely. I just noticed the way you say buttons, and Amanda says it the same way. I love it. Oh. All right.
Awesome.
I know that Amanda's got a couple more questions too for you.
Yeah, no, we've had people on the show that say that like they don't actually have a bucket list. They have more of like a white whale than a list of items that they hope to find. Are you one of those people that might have a bucket list or a white whale?
Well, obviously my bucket list would be like a GW button, because, George Washington's our first president and, stuff like that. It's really significant, especially out of this area. Um, anything that's, a belt plate or, part of a musket, stuff like that. I mean, just somebody that held something and stuff like that. So, but GW button's my top list.
Hmm.
It's just, I mean, I know Dave Wise found one. I don't know if Amanda, have you found one or no?
I have not.
Okay. So I think we're hunting in the wrong spot or something because I got all this property and I'm like, what in the heck?
Well, that's definitely
Is
one I think a
there
lot of time.
is there an item that's like not not metal that you enjoy finding while you're out, like marbles or beads or anything like that that you might find in the fields?
Well, I do is when I go out, I have all my musket balls in blue mason jars. So I put all my musket balls in blue mason jars, and then I take another blue mason jar and I put all my pieces of pottery I find on the ground into a mason jar, and I just fill it up, and I just put it on a shelf. So I do pottery. I found a couple pieces of clay pipe. I've never found only like 2 marbles in a day, but I try to do that. Even my nails, even my square nails, I have them in a mason jar. So I just have them all on the shelf just because, back in the day, they used to burn down houses just to save the nails.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys knew that. Because it was so hard to, they used to do that. And that was when it was, back then because, blacksmiths wasn't, in every town, so they saved the nails.
Wow. Never heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it
sorry.
So are there any other types of treasure hunting that you do, like mudlarking or magnet fishing or bottle dump
No, I
digging?
haven't. I did I did find a couple bottle dumps, a couple spots I went, and this one bottle dump was from the 40s, and it was seriously 6 foot thick. And that's where the whole town dumped their bottles. It was almost like a dump, but you could see bottles everywhere. And I picked, but there was nothing significant there. But when I was doing some water hunting, I looked up on the shore and saw this blue bottle. Well, I picked it up, and I found out it was worth like $1,000, and it's only one business was only in 2 years, and there was some kind of sparkling water in Michigan and stuff like that. So it was really cool to find it here next to me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just neat to find.
Wow, that's cool. And that's always, when you dig when you find a bottle or something like that was manufactured somewhere so far away, and then you wonder all the hands, and all the traveling that one thing did. It's the same thing with the coins and the other relics too,
Mm-hmm.
How did they end up? Amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a spot where I metal detect, and right near Lake George. So I don't if you guys are not familiar with Lake George. They have these big ships on there. Well, one of the ships was the Sagamore. Okay, which is the Sagamore is a big, huge place up in Lake George, big hotel, conference center. Well, that was the name of the boat. Well, I'm in the middle of the woods, like 2 miles from any road, and I come across, this awesome signal, and I dig it up. It's a silver spoon. I'm like, what the heck would this be up here? And I kept on digging and digging and digging. I found torpedo bottles. I found plates, everything, and it was stolen from the Sagamore back in the 1930s. They actually had a thief steal them and bring them up in the woods, and I found, some silverware and some plate, not full plates, obviously, but, miscellaneous stuff that they stole from the ship, and it was, 2 miles into the woods.
Wow, that's neat. That's a neat story right there. That's super cool.
It was crazy because it's like, I brought it up to the museum and they're like, "Where'd you find this?" I'm like, "In the middle of the woods." They're like, "No way." I'm like, and I told them the story. He's like, "You got to keep digging because there was like 3 crates stolen back in the 1938," and it told me all about it. I'm like, "Really? That's pretty cool."
That's cool.
Wow. Yeah.
And have you guys ever seen a torpedo bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found like 3 of them in one hole. And I just kept on, digging softly, and, they came out perfect. Almost like it was full of wine back in the day,
Sorry, I was coughing. That is such a neat story. I know you've got probably a lot of stories, but one question that Amanda and I like to ask a lot is, what's maybe one of the strangest things you've ever found while metal detecting, or maybe strangest things that happened to you while you're out metal detecting, something like that?
Well, besides I don't know if you've seen, I put a post on there. My strangest thing was like when you're out on a hot summer day. Okay, I mean we're talking, humidity's up and it's hot. Well, I have this field that is, the revolution's been through it, and I'll get this cold, like 40-degree, area, and it's not coming from the ground. It's just like there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 99 degrees out, and it's, you're sweating bullets, but then you get this cold air, and I'm just wondering. I'm like, where the heck is this coming from? Because it ain't like it's in one spot. It moves, And I always thought, I said, are them like spirits? I mean, I don't know. But it's just weird. That's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me, where I actually got goosebumps.
Ooh, that's kind of creepy.
So, yeah. Well, because, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the history, General Burgoyne came down from Canada, from Whitehall to Fort Edward. He lost 3,500 men. And they didn't bring them with them. They buried them in the woods.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yes. We love hearing those stories like that. We've heard some pretty interesting, stories on here. Some people have even captured some stuff while they were out digging, or heard voices and just weird stuff.
I've never heard any voices. I know a lot of people. I mean, when I'm over in Vermont and New Hampshire, a lot of people like to hunt graveyards, which I can't do it. I don't know. People are like, oh, it's no big deal. I said, to me, it is. That's just sacred.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I don't. Like I said, it's just. When they tell me stories, I'm like, that's just dumb, really. Well, you're not, it don't matter, there are people, that's supposed to be like off limits,
Yeah, it's bad juju.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I don't know, when they talk about it like it's an everyday thing, and it just, to me, that's not a real metal detectorist, I think,
Yeah.
No, you said you obviously you've given items over to museums or the Historic Society or whatnot. Do you find like you have a good relationship with those groups in your area?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I haven't kept up with the local alliance and stuff. Then I was 17 years old when I donated them things, and like I said, and then the spoon I gave to the the local museum for the boat there. But that was I'm not big into some of the bigger stuff that people do find, and they go to the Smithsonian or something like that. But I would love to find something like that. I would definitely donate it. If I found a cannon, I'd donate it to the Saratoga battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
I just didn't know if maybe if you're working with any of them right now, if like they've give you tips on areas to go to detect and
No,
whatnot.
no, I deal with a couple of historical societies that I've been dealing with since I was about 20, and I have a good rapport with them, and I just do all the metal detecting and stuff like that, and we've had I don't know if you guys have it in your area, but I call them pirates around here because they go buy a metal detector and they think they're going to get rich, and they try to go on people's property without permission or try to get on permissions, and they ruin it for the rest of us. And I call them out as they are, the pirates, and I don't like it. They're for self gain and not history per se.
Yeah.
It's hard because I didn't know that I've been reading on the internet. There's it's getting to be like a cutthroat business. This is metal detecting, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a hobby. You go out and have fun and relax, and people get mad, and people oh, you've been on here. This is mine, and that's your. You didn't find that. I mean, I've had it done to me, and I don't like it at all. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Amanda, you were up to the bone, right?
Yeah, I was at Bone.
Well, I found that awesome coin, and I showed it a couple of. He goes, "Who buried that?" I mean, I was excited that I never found it. I found a 2-cent piece, but then 5 other people found the same year, same 2-cent piece, in like almost mint condition. And then you find out it was seeded, and it pissed you off, So that I don't like that, when it's supposed to be a natural hunt.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. I have
Yeah.
I have my head in the clouds most of the time, or more actually accurate is my head in the ground. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I didn't hear about that.
No, but it's just that's a mentality of some people because either I've had coins. I don't know if you guys have come out of the ground like they were like brand new. I mean, like I got a flying eagle scent that pulled out of shale. There was hardly no residual stuff on either side. Cleaned it off, and it was like just like his circulation.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but I've had other coins come out like shit, they're just blanks. But I mean, it depends on the soil, I guess.
Yeah, the soil can make a big difference. That's for sure.
Also found too with the water stuff, a lot of for some reason the mud can really keep some of these like items and artifacts in pretty great shape, and others it totally just they like fall apart. But
I mean, you got me hooked on that. I want to try that mudlarking because there's this other. I read that they used to come up because where I live, I'm just down from Fort Edward. That's as far as the ships can sail north. And back in the day, they used to have this, dock out there where the patrons used to throw coins to the kids and stuff like that, and some fell in the water. And I never had a chance to go there, and I want to try to do some mudlarking and see what I can find in the mud.
Yeah, you really should.
it's a lot of fun.
It really is.
Now, how far do you guys do any woods hunting or no?
Yep, I do woods hunting, woods,
How are the ticks up
fields.
your way?
The ticks were absolutely horrendous this year. Horrible, like really bad. But I think we saw it like in towards Keene, like towards that way, like during that hunt was probably the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do the clothes in the Promethean and the tape and you name it.
I use, listen, when it gets colder out, I use one of them Tyvek paint suits under my clothes. And people laugh at me like I'm one of the Oompa Loompas, but I'll tell you, I haven't got a tick on me yet.
That's good.
But I mean, they're so cheap. You can get 3 of them for $13, and you put it under your, and it actually keeps you warmer because it keeps your heat in. And when it gets towards fall and winter, it's it's the best to have. And you wear the gloves and spray yourself down.
That's a good idea.
It's got the feeties. None of them get in.
Wow.
$13 save your life, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, what is it? It's a
Tyvek paint suit. You get them right at the hardware store.
Okay. Yeah, I ordered some for a dump that I did in. I actually ordered one for my friend because she was having like allergic reactions to the soil because I guess you can imagine in those old dumps, some of the chemicals and all that, leach into the ground. So she was kind of having a allergic reaction. So
they have them in camouflage, white, blue, yellow. I mean, they got all different colors you can order. But I've been wearing one of them suits every time I go in the woods. And the weirdest time I went into the woods where this farmer told me that he was plowing his field and he hit this. He's like, I hit this rock. I'm like, what do you mean rock? He goes, I can't cut into it. Well, I went down there and investigated. Well, he found an old corduroy road and kept on finding. And then he's like, well, I've never metal detected it. Well, I didn't get a chance to metal detect it. Well, his neighbor did. Started finding cannonballs and stuff like that. And now it's off limits.
Oh, no.
Loose lips sink ships because the historical people got involved and blah, blah. It just got into, off-site. It's a this, it's a that, So, and I almost had, not that, because I would love to find, I've never found a cannonball, but like I said, he found like 3 of them, and who knows what they found because it's all been hush-hush for years. So that was when I was 23 years old.
Wow. I would love to. Okay.
Yeah.
Top of my bucket list. Oh, how I'd get it out of there.
Because nobody really, I mean, the old cannonballs, they come up, they'll come up like a solid signal because of the mass.
Yeah, the canister shots that I have found have come up as good signals.
Now, have you found much Revolution stuff up your way, or?
Yeah, a little bit. Some, here and there. It depends on what site I'm at. There's one that, yes, definitely have. That site, everything went back to the property owner, though.
Yeah.
And then I know that there's another site that definitely has potential. The only thing is, every year they have events there, like weddings and theaters, and so it seems like every time I clear it of the trash and start
right
getting
back at it.
yeah, exactly. So it's been, one of those. I'm gonna end up needing like a group to really clean up the trash to actually get to that stuff. Yeah.
Now, do you guys grid, or do you guys just wing it and go wherever?
It depends on the site for me.
Yeah.
See, I had
kind of haphazardly and just try to cherry, see where the most concentrated sites areas are, and then like get those. That's where I'll stop and start gritting.
We went to an event this summer, and I picked the old farmhouse. Well, we went to the farmhouse, and I was the first one there. I started gritting, and I've watched, I think, 14 to 15 metal detectors come in, swing around the house, and just leave. And they were there no more than 10 minutes. And I come out with 5 large cents, like 7 silver quarters, mercury dimes, everything, because I gritted, And it's just see these people just like, okay, they're waiting for that big hit, And I was like, wow, that was just crazy to watch that.
That is crazy. Yeah, you got to slow down and really hit those spots really slow. Go back over the same areas again.
Yeah, I mean, it depends also on like how much time. Like some of the places around me, I mean, are only like honestly 3 minutes away. So if I get a lunch break, like I'm not really gonna go and spend my time gritting. But if I get like an afternoon or an entire day of going to detect, like I will spend the time gritting and doing that. But yeah, if I'm doing it like only have a little bit of time, I go out and see just swing, try to get my mind off work for a little bit and put my timer on my phone. And when it goes off, I know I have to head back to my truck and head back to work. So,
Well, that's why when I use a flag, when I'm in a field and I get into a section where I'm getting a lot of targets, I can almost, see where everybody was, like by the flags, by the signals. And then I can concentrate in that area more than I can the other areas where it's sporadic. And I found almost like a trail at this one location, and it's just it's unbelievable. You can actually follow this trail, like zigzagging through the woods.
that's cool. I always like trails like that.
And I have so many more different permissions coming up that I'm not that I'm afraid. I had a few friends come and go, but they never it's almost like okay, I have permissions, I'll bring you on my permissions, why don't you let me on one of yours type thing. And they would never let you on a permission. It was always you're bringing them somewhere, they're finding stuff, but never, the other way should be like a 50-50 thing. And it never happened that way, and then, it becomes like a cutthroat business where, hey, listen, you got to, give a little to take a little, you know what I'm saying?
Do. So, I know you're headed to Digstock. Are you heading to any other events before the year concludes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that new the other hunt with George Streeter, because the teeny farm got canceled because of the flooding. So I guess they got a new site, and I'm gonna go do that. And I don't know if there's another one or not. I think there was, but oh yes, I might do the one for the Empire State. The 25th down in Albany. That's a seated hunt, not natural, but
It's still fun. You get together with a group of other detectorists.
yeah. And we're gonna have a hunt through our group next year, about September. We're gonna have a thing called Search for Durant's Treasure, and we have a huge facility, and it's all the accommodations are right there, indoor pool, outdoor pool. It's gonna have a little bit of everything, and there's foundations, there's everything, and I've went up there and did some preliminary metal detecting, and it's never been hunted, so which is really good for the detectors that come, but it's going to be an invitational, probably a minimum of 100 people. So it's going to be definitely different.
So if if people wanted to like find out and follow you and see some of the stuff that you've dug, how can they find you on social
I'm on
media?
Facebook. I'm at Adirondack Mountains Metal Detecting, so it's ADKMD21. And then on Instagram, I'm ADKMD1. So, and I haven't done the YouTube thing. I'm only on Instagram and Facebook. I think I'm on Twitter, but I don't use it. I don't know if, everybody that follows me, but I've gotten kicked off Facebook 7 times because they don't believe my name. And they said I'm impersonating someone. And I'm like, okay. I said, that's funny. I literally send them my birth certificate, send them my license, send them everything right to the corporate office, and they still deleted me. It's so weird because I get picked on all my life, and now nobody believes me. It's so funny.
Jeez. Well, we have 2 questions that we tend to ask all guests that come on. Gypsy, do you want to start it off?
Okay. I'll start it off with the first one. If you could detect anywhere in the world, where would you pick? Sorry, putting you on the spot here.
Well, I'd probably like to. I'd probably say the Saratoga battlefield.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. Now let Amanda with the weird one.
Yeah, this one, if you're not into comic books and superheroes, it might just, you could just say it. But if you could dress as a superhero and have those powers of that superhero to treasure hunt and metal detect, who would you pick and why?
Well, probably Flash so I can get it done faster.
Yeah.
And I could do a field. I could do a field in like 5 seconds, and get all dig it all up.
For sure. That's a good answer. Good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Flint, we appreciate you being here with us tonight. Thanks for coming on and sharing your stories with us. And
we'll see you. We'll have a booth set up with the Swinging Sisters up to Digstock, and a few gifts. They got a couple gifts, token gifts. So look for us, and we'll be there, and we'll have some different things to see, and get some pictures taken, and go from there.
Yeah. No. Did you say were they gonna jump on for a second?
Yeah, they just wanted to say hi. Teresa wants to say hi at least. Teresa want to say hi? You want to say hi? No, she don't want to say hi.
All right.
She's bashful. She thinks she's on. Yeah, she'll say hi, Dick Sack, she says.
Yeah, perfect.
The camera shy, and there's no camera.
Now you said you're setting up a booth at the event or at the meet and greet?
Yes. I don't know. I haven't talked to Pete yet, but I hopefully at meet and greet because get our name out and stuff like that, and then plus we get some gifts that we want to give out, maybe door prize or whatnot, or a 50-50. I don't know. I got to ask Pete about that. So,
Awesome.
But at least it won't be as packed as last year or the year before, I should say.
Yeah, I kept going back and forth with someone, and I'm like, yeah, I think there was like 1,000 people or something, and like, no way.
There was 1,290 people at the last one.
Like,
now, did you guys didn't do the seated hunt at all? Did you?
No, I didn't do the seated hunt.
No. Well, that's where the other guys they did, and they said, "Oh, we buried this much," and then the one guy took his metal detector and threw it, and I was like, "Holy crap, what is going on here?"
Yeah. No, I thought if
So,
I could have more time searching like the natural fields with less people on them and like away and they had cleared some of the
oh yeah,
fields, I was so excited
I've
and I found a couple
I've already
coppers. Yeah.
yeah I already done my research and I'm going. I got a couple spots, so I'll give you some hints.
Nice. Very
Oh,
cool.
Because the local libraries up here are just filled with information.
I bet.
And that was actually
Research
something I was going to
is
ask you. Yeah. Is what type of research do you do before you go to some of your sites?
Well, I've been collecting American Revolution books from or anything to do with the American Revolution since I was like probably 23. I have over 300 books, and I go through them, and I get little passages. I've gotten actually manuscripts from an old Burgoyne's, like a colonel or whatever, that he had, and it was in a lockbox. I bought them, and we're talking like, before it was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up, buying them, and it was, back then I think it was $50, and they're probably worth, 2,000 right now.
That's awesome.
And it's just to have the knowledge, you know, is to pass down to someone, and whether I take my collection and give it to a museum or whatever, when I'm all said and done, that's probably what I'll do, and my books, because I don't, some of the books are you can't find, one-offs.
It's very cool. Yeah, those books are, some of them are big money and oh man, the information in them is great.
Yeah, I mean, my local, my spot where I'm in is so rich in history. I mean, we've had everything from the French and Indian War all the way to the American Revolution from, not even a mile from where I stand. You know what I'm saying? Like actually half a mile. I mean, I'm sitting right behind the one of the last houses that Burgoyne's army didn't burn because it was a Tory house, and I'm like right behind that, and I know the people very well, and they let me metal detect and stuff like that, but it's so been, taken over, and with modern trash and stuff of that nature. So it's sad that the history's gone, but the house is still there from 1700s.
That's
wow.
crazy.
But I look forward to seeing you girls.
Yeah, it would be great. Can't
Yeah,
wait to get to New York.
we
Yeah.
can't wait. We're ready now. Well, now we've got to get better, but after that, we'll be definitely ready.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys feel better, and like I said, get better, and get your strength up, and get your dominant arm, your metal detect with all ready to go, and
Yeah.
we'll have some fun. Now, are you guys staying just the 2 days, or are you guys going to stay the extra day, or?
No, we're actually
Uh,
we're traveling up on Thursday and staying until Tuesday.
Okay, so you'll be there. You'll be there on Monday too. I'm staying Monday too.
Yeah, staying Monday, and
Yeah.
that way we can staying Monday night. We learned the hard way 2 years ago. Gypsy traveled back with us, so we did. We learned the hard way. We detected all day until it must have been 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and then we
good.
had this 6.5 hour drive back to Maine. And
Yeah.
obviously, the way we go is the way of the ferry, and there's no ferry at that time, so it brought us a longer route. And it was junk. I think we got back at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we had plans to go digging that day. So I remember like getting Gypsy up and being like, "You could sleep in the car." She's like, "We just got back." So
Now it probably took you over Crown Point Bridge and then over to through Route 2, right?
I have no idea. It was basically, your arms hurt from the clay digging that heavy, heavy dirt there, and we were just done. I don't know.
Now, have you guys ever had an experience where you being such hard clay that's never been tilled before that your pinpointer won't go through it? I mean, so solid that your pinpointer, I mean, even if it's 2 inches. I got some of that clay around here.
Really?
It's almost like pottery clay. It's so tight and it's so dense.
Yeah. Usually when I hit clay, it sticks to my shovel, and I can't get it off, and it's just terrible to dig in. I can't stand digging in that clay.
Yeah, because you never get. It seems like it never ends.
Right. For sure.
Well, thanks again, Flint, for coming on the show, and look
Okay,
forward
thank
to
you for having
seeing
me.
you. Yeah, seeing you in like, what is it now? 3 weeks or so? A little less?
Yeah.
No, 3 weeks. Yeah. Awesome.
We'll
Well,
be seeing you soon. Thank you all.
Okay,
You all have
I'll see you. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
yes.
Okay. We'll see you then.
And good luck. Hopefully, you guys feel better.
Thanks.
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 Thank
Well,
you.
thank
You
you
guys
all.
have a good night.
Thanks. Thank you all
Good
for
night.
joining us
Thanks.
tonight, and we look forward to talking to you next Monday. Hopefully, Gypsy and I will be well on our way to feeling better. And yeah, so that's it. Have a good night.
Good night, all. Y'all have a great night.
Good
Good
night.
night.